News at 5.
A Minnesota woman says the state of Iowa is still trying to get her to pay a nearly 30-year-old seatbelt ticket. Good evening, I'm Erin Kiernan.
And I'm Janae Town. Thanks for joining us. It happened while the then teen was passing through Iowa.
Ben Oldak joins us now to tell us why she is refusing to pay it 29 years after the fact.
Well, Erin, she says at the time she was a 15-year-old runaway and says looking back on it, she doesn't believe the officer that pulled her over did enough at the time to find out who she was or why she was traveling with an older man. Amy Rush is now in her 40s, but back in 1990, she was a 15-year-old runaway, hitching a ride with an older man through Hamilton County. The man got pulled over for speeding and says her seatbelt shouldn't have been the officer's first concern.
You know, I was a runaway. The officer that pulled us over not only did not see an ID or license from me, but, you know, never inquired more about me at all. And for all they knew, I was with a deranged, psychopath or something.
She says about 15 years ago, the state sent a letter to her parents' house saying she owed the $35 ticket. She says she wasn't going to pay. Now living just outside St. Paul, Rush says she was surprised to get a letter a few days ago saying a debt collection agency was trying to get the money.
I've almost considered just driving down there the 2.5 hours to talk to a judge to tell him how absolutely ridiculous this is and what a waste of taxpayer money, again, this has been for 15 years. I mean, I can't imagine the postage that they've paid on following me around trying to get this $35.
West Des Moines lawyer Mark Pennington says if she doesn't pay, she can expect the letters to keep coming. There's no statute of limitations on these kinds of fines.
Well, if you have an unpaid fine, it's not going to go away. It's going to be there until you pay it. And if it's there, they'll eventually try and get it. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do.
For Iowa residents, the debt collection agency can withhold state taxes, or the state can refuse to renew your vehicle registration. Since Rush is a Minnesota resident, the only real action the state can take is to issue an arrest warrant. Pennington says if it was him, he would just pay the ticket and be done with it, but Rush says that's not going to happen.
I told them I'm going to let them keep sending me mail and wasting more money because I'm not paying it.
I spoke with the Iowa judicial system. They say Rush can come to Hamilton County to speak with the magistrate and ask that they forgive the ticket, but because there's no statute of limitations on these kinds of things, the law requires that the third-party debt collector try to collect. And if she doesn't pay, she won't be alone. In 2017, the state's third-party collection agency tried to collect about $37 million of outstanding debt, and they were able to collect about $13 million of that.
Okay, interesting story. Thanks, Ben.